of an image in our head of what we're supposed to be like. And it's a very dangerous thing to measure yourself to. My name is Erin Lane. Well, I'm an artist. That's an easy way to blanket what I do. I run a cabinet refinishing company. I'm also a painter. I also am a filmmaker, and I do a little music on the side for fun. I grew up in a very strict denomination evangelical church, and there really wasn't any creativity allowed. So I feel like in a way, possibly my rebellion began with wanting to be a creative person. I remember going to the art museum in St. Louis as a little girl. I want to say I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I was just moved. And I remember specifically having a conversation with God and being like, I want to do this. I don't know like what your plan is for my life, but like I want to be that. But when I was 15, I started, doing the things that 15-year-olds do in the 90s, which was, start smoking cigarettes and start going to parties. And, it was the beginning of a very dark path for a very long time. And I idolized beauty and sexiness, and I thought that was what would make me happy. I think I was in like my mid-20s when I really had enough of that life. I was starting a new life. I just gone through a divorce. I moved down here. I essentially moved down with what I could fit in my car. I left my life. And that was the first time that I ever painted without a plan. It was the first time that I was ever like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and see what happens. I feel like sometimes I get divine inspiration. Sometimes I feel like I'm mulling over something in my head for days and days and days, and then I'll see a representation of that in a physical world, and I'm like, that's it, that's what I want to express this idea. So here's where art imitates life and life imitates art. I had an appointment with my OBGYN, who tells me that I have cysts on an ovary, I have fibroids in my uterus, that things are not working the way they should be properly, and that things could be dark. It could be a darker road for me ahead. And I walk in and I see this in this bathroom. And in that moment, it popped out to me as ovary, uterus. And it literally said this, like, do not use, and these things over, these waterfall, these things of life, these things that are supposed to be this place where you come get clean. And it struck me, and I started crying, and I was like, I gotta get photos of this. I need to paint this. So that was one of those moments. It's a therapy in a way, but it's also using that pain into turning it into something good, I am willing to trust my instincts more since being divorced. I chose a life of celibacy a few years ago. And that was a hard decision to get off of the hamster wheel of dating and trying to find, by celibate, I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about I chose to not be in relationships at all, other than platonic friendships, because I wanted to conserve that energy to my independence, because coming out of a marriage where I didn't feel like I owned my own thoughts and things like that, I felt like it was a growth period where it was just very important to me that I really establish who I am before I try and, connect with another person. It was scary because I was approaching 40 and I wanted a family, but I think it's what made me so strong in my independence, that I can make decisions for myself that are good. I don't have to listen to everybody else. And it gave me time to create. We're constantly fed this message by, advertising that sexy is worth. And it's not. It's absolutely not. And when you stop buying into that lie and you stop caring about what your worthiness is to your sexual attraction and just try to be you, you become sexier. I'm sad for her. I'm sad that I put myself through so much stuff that I didn't need to, and I feel bad for the person that I was because I could have been this all along. But all we can do is just keep kicking ass, you know?